I hope that ICMF helps me develop different ways of composing music.
I have never ever composed or written something with this much intent.
I am trying to get out of my comfort zone and create in ways that I'm not used to.
Definitely it's like a concept and like a group of people who I've never really worked this closely with.
I've never completed a co-write with anyone before.
It's been very difficult for me to feel like we've gotten started.
I always think of music as like a place that can foster like beautiful collaboration.
Hi, I'm Angelica Zavala. I am a drum major.
So my name is Tamish Koznarski, and I am a woodwind major.
My name is Elisabeth. I am one of the vocalists.
My name is Siddharth Kota and I'm a guitar player.
My name is Jessica Spurrell. I am a singer-songwriter.
My name is Kayla Hoshizaki. I am a vibraphonist.
I'm Zach Price, play bass.
My name is Isabel Courtney. I am doing the visuals for ICMF this year. The Intercultural and Creative Music Fellowship brought us together as artists to explore and create original works inspired by the Aga Khan Museum. As we explored their vast collection of art and history, we all became fascinated by the museum's 10th anniversary exhibit about light and how it guides us.
With the theme of light, it can mean a different thing to a lot of people, but when I think of light, I think of freedom and clarity.
Light gives so much to the world in general and to us as human beings.
Cycles and energy specifically pertaining to like circadian rhythm and like different stages throughout the day where your mind is at compared to where the sun is in the sky.
How some people say that you're more productive in the morning, but morning wouldn't be morning without light and without the sun.
I associate light a lot with like summer and euphoria and like happiness.
Whenever it's the winter, I always feel more moody, and when light comes back, when the sun comes back in the summer, I always like have this like sort of rejuvenation.
Light could also mean enlightenment or looking at things from a different perspective.
I think that there's kind of like an energy about everyone, and that energy or light is kind of what drives people to be different and do the things they do.
My goals for the fellowship is to grow as a composer and an artist.
I really want to grow as an artist and grow as a collaborator and be able to learn more about music and learn more about how other artists create.
I hope that I get out of my comfort zone and I explore some new ways to create music.
Sometimes composing in like a collaborative setting can bring out the best of you.
I've been in a few contexts where I had to create with other people, but this is the first that I'm doing that is so involved.
I definitely wish to learn more about Persian music.
I think it's going to be interesting to write music and grow as a composer through that.
I think we've quickly become like a little family. Can't wait to see where our sound goes.
We started our fellowship journey with intense creative sessions and rehearsals, where we spent our days composing music and developing visuals. We slowly began comprehending deeper connections between our themes and the museum's teachings.
Ready?
Let's do it. When we started, it was kind of hard to have guidelines or even know exactly what to do. But since we started working more as a group, we started to learn more about each other as musicians, but also as individual people.
This project is not what I initially thought it to be, and our lead for this project, Agnea, said it really well this morning about how we're not supposed to think outside of the box, we have to create the box.
And we spent quite a long time playing around with like very incomplete ideas and trying them out and improvising around them with
with such a short deadline to create something. At the beginning I was like, this is really fun and cool, but like I'm worried that we're not actually going to finish any songs.
I didn't expect our songs to like come out the way they did, sound the way they sound. I didn't expect them to have the instrumentation that they did. I didn't expect this vibe that they give. And I'm really happy with how they all turned out.
I had no clue that the songs would sound the way that they do, and especially that they would have so much of each one of us in there. I think after doing the residency, I realized even more how much each of us has contributed to this project and how much we all have our little handprint in there.
I think it's really interesting how 8 different people who haven't really worked with each other came together and came up with something that sounds good.
I mean, when there's 8 people that are all working on one piece of music, it can be tough to know what is doing too much, what is doing too little, and finding the spaces in which you should contribute and where you should maybe let it breathe.
It's been stressful at times and frustrating in ways of just dealing with people in different working styles.
So in any kind of group work, there's always conflicts and disagreements.
Whether that be seeing eye to eye with them or making sure that your voice is also heard.
I think that through a lot of conversations and through a lot of setting boundaries and also recognizing that everyone's process is very different, we found ways to sort of work around that as much as we could.
Conflict isn't necessarily a bad thing. It just means that both people care. So if we can do it in a way that is not like emotional or not, tearing other people down, if we can have conflict about ideas, then that honestly is optimal because we'll get the best result.
When there's that much care and there's that much passion and people are really like attached, like all of us were quite like attached to like our own ideals for this, it's kind of difficult sometimes to communicate things and it's pretty easy to be misunderstood.
After a week-long residency in Montreal, we showcased our new music in front of an audience for the first time. It was an emotional and high-risk performance.
Was feeling excited leading up to it.
Excited and nervous.
A little bit nervous.
I think a lot of stress.
My emotions were all over the place. I was excited, I was scared, I was nervous.
I didn't know the tune as my second nature, so I was nervous about that.
We spent so much time before this being worried about whether or not things would be good enough.
We're kind of doubting ourselves in terms of, is our music enough? Is the way that we're performing this enough? Is the thing that I excel at, am I good enough at that to be playing in front of an audience?
And because we've been so focused on these songs for such a long time, we sort of see them from very, very up close, and it's hard sometimes to see the full picture. But performing really allowed us to just be in the moment and live through the songs and try to convey the message that they have.
And then as soon as we started performing, it was very magical.
It was just like honestly gratifying because you're getting through these songs that you've worked really hard on and you've worked for a super long time on, and finally getting to play them in a more organic setting.
People were playing a bit more boldly than we were in rehearsals, and I found that really, really excited me, made me think that I was doing something that was so worthwhile and that I would not want it any other way at that moment.
But after performing together for the first time, I feel closer to each individual in the fellowship.
I was like emotional during the first song, and like it felt like our project is really coming to a close.
And so feel free to take a minute to think about this, but in one sentence, what's your biggest takeaway from ICMF?
Yeah, I am going to need a minute on this.
Yeah, that's okay.
One sentence, damn.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to take a minute to think about this.
What is my biggest takeaway from ICMF?
Without patience, there is no creativity.
Trust in your experiences and the work that you've done, and people will identify with the messages and themes of your performance.
In a group creative situation, it's really important to have an open mind, and it lets you be surprised by some great outcomes.
It's good to get out of your comfort zone and push yourself to grow somewhere else.
It's okay to trust the people that you are working with to guide you.
Always try to have an open mind and be available to listen to what people are saying.
Believe in yourself, and your music will reflect that.
It's okay to let go of control and let art evolve.
Thank you so much, Kia, for your guidance, your support, and also immersing us in the wonderful world of Persian music.
Thank you very much for allowing us to come to Montreal and do a residency at the Centre des Musiciens du Monde.
Thank you, Peter, Agneya, Anastasia, Jennifer, and all of Humber CCBI for all your guidance through ICMF 2024.
And thank you to the Aga Khan Museum for this incredible opportunity.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.